drifter. And he's like, anyone could be a drifter if you try to sell them stuff that they don't want. Right. So he's like, I don't know, that line was really funny to me. And he's just like a janitor cook thing or something. I think,
he just cleans up the restaurant.
Yeah, Judd Nelson is a really good menacing. He could have been like a really good, like, sinister character actor. Kind of. And this, I mean, I thought it was perfect. He just looked I'm not talking about Breakfast Club. Jesus Christ. If you associate him just to that, then of course you're going to hate him. But Bender, that's his name. And
yeah.
You're not even admit that he's good in that.
In what?
Breakfast Club.
No.
Why?
Because that movie sucks.
Okay, the movie sucks, but he's good in it.
No.
Oh my God.
He's like a cliche stereotype. Fucking.
So Meatloaf owns the building.
Mr. Chumley.
Yep, Mr. Chumley. And he's coming in wanting his money. And Christopher Reeve. Christopher Reeve lashes out at him and accidentally like cuts his hand, and then like he's apologizing, and then the drifter Judd Nelson is just like he just hangs out across the street by where he works.
All the other homeless people.
Yeah, he's homeless, hangs out right by where he works. I mean, because if you're on call, who knows?
Well, I mean, if you're homeless, you don't want to go too far from where you're living, I guess, or where you're working.
Yeah, but right across the street, just sitting there smoking a cigarette, staring at your building.
That's where I'm going to go in the morning.
So he realizes he needs to take care of a problem, and he's already talked about his famous barbecue thing or whatever, and he kills Meatloaf. I swear to God that it was a fucking truck horn or something.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like.
Sure sounded like that was loud.
Or a clown car or something.
Yeah. So he ends up fucking offing Meatloaf, and then Christopher Reeve.
But they don't even do anything to the steaks. They just plop them on the grill.
I know, but he said they like curated them. Is that the word? Or
well, curing.
Yeah. He's like a cured.
But they didn't cure anything. They just take them out of the body. And
well,
put
obviously
them in the fridge and on the grill.
Yeah, he just like fucking turning people into cannibals. Maybe people taste that good.
Yeah, people just taste.
Well, think about it. Your body is like marinating all that meat right now.
Do you think
it probably tastes so good?
Do you think that they got Meatloaf intentionally because he was going to be eaten?
I wasn't gonna say that, but I thought that.
Yeah, I mean it's like we're gonna get a fat guy to be eaten. Let's get Meatloaf.
Well, I mean, if it was intentional, or it may have been like inside jokey intentional with the people who put it together, the casting director or something. But they would in the episode they would have like had a snarky fucking stupid comment like, "Try this meatloaf." It would have been like made the episode so stupid.
Let's make what about squid meatloaf?
So yum. I think Meatloaf is in like two of my all-time favorite fucking short horror stories.
Short horrors. Pelts and
yeah, this one. I love
Jennifer's
Pelts.
way better than Pelts.
No, I'm not saying it's better, but it's fucking great. That black actress with the ass and Masters of Horror.
Jesus Christ.
Holy shit. And then like him cutting himself up. That's amazing.
Making a skin vest.
Yeah, it's so good. The twist in this is fucking pretty cool to me, except for... You don't think it is? Except for the cop is like just developed this taste for human flesh.
Yeah, I mean they haven't even pre-discussed any of it. He just walks in and he's like, "Well, I guess I'll be a cannibal." And
he catches the whole fucking
in the act. Yeah,
the whole thing,
and just on the spot decides like, "Well, I guess I'll just."
But he came in there to eat.
Run the risk of being a fucking, going to prison.
No, he can cover it up. He's a cop, and it was genius. No, I this is my favorite episode. I can't really think of anything that's a super close second. I guess the Tim
Curry one.
Tim Curry is my favorite. My second.
Oh yeah, the Death of Some Salesman.
Like just the thing, the three acting things that he does in it with prosthetics is just fucking amazing. But I'm gonna give this. It's my favorite. So I don't want to go low, and I can't go perfect because Bender isn't a good character in Breakfast Club, obviously. So whatever. But 9.75.
Oh wow!
Wow, that's ridiculous. I gave it an 8.
I gave it an 8 as well.
I don't know. I just like looking at Judd Nelson for some reason.
Yeah,
and those big nostrils.
Gathered that.
Whatever. Next.
Tales from the Crypt.
Next episode I also picked is
New Arrival.
I'm trying to get my fucking phone back to. Okay.
Episode 7, Season 4.
Very next episode after What's Cooking. And it's got David Warner, Zelda Rubinstein, Joan Severance. Who else did you say?
Also
Twiggy.
Twiggy,
yeah. The model, right? Yeah.
But she's in Doctor and the Devils as well, so she has some horror background too.
Yeah, and then she was the guitar player or something in Marilyn Manson.
I was waiting for that.
You were?
I
Man, I'm predictable. This sucks. I gotta change up my shit. This is like Howard Stern gone wrong.
There are actually a couple episodes about like shock jocks.
Yep.
And, like,
And then
Miguel Ferreira one.
Yeah, the second Miguel Ferreira episode.
Yep, even Crypt Keeper dresses up as Howard Stern at the end of one of them. I don't remember which one it was.
That's right.
But
David Warner is like a legend in horror. If you don't know who he is, he was originally supposed to be Freddy Krueger.
Oh, that's right.
He was originally cast as Freddy Krueger, and there was like a casting schedule conflict or something, and
man,
got it.
Do you think that franchise would have went long as it did with David Warner though?
I think David Warner would have been a fucking creepy.
I don't think David Warner would have wanted to stuck with it like Robert Englund.
Probably
did,
not, because he also had. I mean, he was already well established at that point. He'd been in The Omen, and like, I mean, he had like. I don't think he had done waxwork at that point, but he went on to do a lot of other stuff, waxwork and other genre stuff, too.
Yeah, then you got the Poltergeist and the Anguish Lady also.
Yeah, Zelda Rubinstein.
Mm-hmm. There's some background horror actors in this.
Absolutely. This is a pretty stacked episode.
And this is an episode that you wanted to pick, and then I was like, it didn't matter as long as we got to watch it.
Yeah, as long as it wound up on the podcast, for sure. Directed by Peter Medak, whose only other big horror credit is The Changeling. But, I mean, that's one of the best haunted house ghost story movies ever.
Yep. Talked about it earlier.
George C. Scott, masterpiece. That fucking, the imagery of the tricycle rolling across the floor by itself and the ball bouncing down the stairs has been aped how many fucking times?
I mean, coming from a guy who did Patton to that, it's pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah, George C. Scott is, pretty celebrated actor inside and outside of horror.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Death?
What?
Or what? There was something. Oh, she calls him that for a second at the end. Never mind. I forgot what his name was.
Oh, yeah, I don't.
Zelda
remember.
calls him that towards the end, but he takes this phone call that he's like a radio psychologist. Go ahead and take it over. It's not an investigation.
His show is in danger of being taken over by Robert Patrick. Oh, we forgot that Robert Patrick's in this episode as well. His show is being
brother of the guy from that band Filter.
Yeah, his time slot is in danger of being taken over by Robert Patrick, and so with his last episode, he decides to go on the road to this repeat caller's house, whose daughter is like supposed to be the ultimate problem child or whatever. So he takes his producer and his assistant with him. At first, they think that it's Zelda Rubinstein playing the role of the child. It's
there's a high-pitched voice and all that.
Well, yeah, and she's the size of a child, and she's clearly bonkers because she says shit like her daddy's off to war, he'll be home any day, and it's like World War II, and clearly she's like 80 or 70 some years old. There's no way she has a young daughter. The house is pretty cool. It's a really big house with lots of at least 2 or 3 floors. That
you'd have to have that for this setting.
Yeah. Anytime you have a big, creepy house like that, it makes your movie a little bit cooler. Kind of you see it a lot in horror. Like there's a room set up for a child that's like full of stereotypical old timey toys, like rocking horses and animatronic toys and wind up toys and shit like that. And that's also making it clear that it's not a modern young child or whatever.
Right.
Tales from the Crypt is really good about giving you clues if you pay attention, or if you watch multiple times. Like if you've seen enough Tales from the Crypt, you can pretty much,
if you know what their gist is, you're like, oh, okay.
You can pull it apart before it's over pretty easily.
Some of them,
some of them,
like the fucking Two for the Road, or what is it? Was it the one season 5, the train ride with the cop and him.
Oh yeah.
Did you see that
Tracy
coming?
Lords
Come on,
show.
dude.
Yeah, that he had killed his wife too. Yeah, that episode has a pretty
dude. That's one of my favorites.
Unpredictable twist. Yeah, that's a really good episode.
So good.
I gave that one an 8 when I went through and scored them.
I definitely give it a 9.
So while they're at the house, there's it's a creepy big house, and there's a lot of cool, weird, creepy little touches, like all the bubble gum in the hallway and shit, and they start getting offed one by one. They find the producer dead in the bed, strangled with the jump rope, and then Twiggy gets killed with the fucking fan blades.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. That was a cool scene.
It's a neat
It's
little
an
kill.
impossible scene, but yeah.
There's a lot about Tales from the Crypt that's pretty impossible.
Oh,
yeah.
And improbable.
Yeah, you have to suspend belief for sure in every episode.
Every episode.
Remember I said suspend disbelief one time? And
Yeah.
That was the dumbest shit ever.
Well, you're bringing it up just to remind everybody.
I'm just because I said it right this time. I was just pointing at hey, who's right this time?
So the twist at the end, when you find out who and what the little girl actually is, that she's a long dead zombie child that's been preserved by her mother's weird obsessive love over having already been abandoned by the husband. What are you doing?
I'm trying to vape. It's stupid.
You are.
So you're not used to it.
No, it's fucking dumb.
You
Don't
got what you deserved.
I'm gonna vape into a fidget spinner just to seem fucking hip with the fucking millennials.
I like this one a lot. It's one
fuck yeah.
One of my favorite episodes. It helps that I love David Warner and always have. He's one of my favorite character actors. It was cool to see him pop up, even if really briefly in Penny Dreadful.
Oh, the TV show, yeah.
He played Van Helsing on Penny Dreadful.
There's
for a minute.
some fucking one movie from 8 Films to Die For or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Penny Dreadful. And it has that one chick from Bully.
Oh, no, not that one.
Okay.
Bijou Phillips?
No, the other one.
Oh, the other one.
The one that was married to
Macaulay Culkin's
Culkin.
wife.
Yeah.
Okay. So, score time. What's your score, guy?
I gave it a 9.
I also gave it a 9.
I'm giving it an 8.
Well, you're dumb.
You're done.
You're stupid and suck.
Yeah, you're not good at this.
Next one.
Tales from the Crypt.
All right, our next episode is Strung Along. What episode number is this, Randy?
It's the very last one of...
No, it's episode 12. There are 2 after it in season 4.
Okay.
Edit.
Stars Zach Galligan, and I think that's the only real name is
And the guy that plays the
Donald O'Connor.
puppeteer, I don't remember.
Donald O'Connor.
Yeah, I don't know what he's from. But this one's also directed by
he was in Toys.
Kevin Yeager again. So
Jägermeister.
the second episode from this podcast that's directed by Yeager, that's kind of interesting.
right. Yeah, this one's about a older puppeteer that used to be well known back in probably the 50s, 60s during a kids show.
Howdy doody shit.
Yep. And okay, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, he's retired, but he's taking medication because he's been having heart issues and all that. And his wife's super hot for someone his age, and he ends up getting the letters saying that they're giving an awards or a nod to the old style.
Look at you, all grown up with no notes.
I'm trying.
I like this. I like this new approach.
Makes it easier for me. I can focus more.
Well, it
on the
makes
show.
it easier for you because you don't have to put in any work.
Exactly.
So you just you're following my footsteps. This guy's got a fucking shitload of notes over there.
Well, no, these are all just the individual episodes. I don't have any notes on these.
All right. Well, you've seen them enough, but
Yeah.
If they hire on, or they goes to get an assistant, that's Zach Galligan to show him the ropes and work with him in the new show, and
I remember this episode.
another infidelity revenge episode. And this one, the reason I chose this one is because I remembered the ending, but I couldn't
I thought you were
remember
going to
the
say
rest.
something bad, like you just went through some infidelity and you needed a place to crash or something.
God, no.
I'm sorry, not here, bro.
No, I just remembered the ending, and I couldn't remember the rest of it, so that's the only reason I chose it. This one was a little more different than I expected it to be, but it was still pretty cool.
No, I like this one. especially the ending, but like all of the acting in it is solid, and
Right.
it's one of those episodes that like while you're watching it, you don't really recognize what's going on, but toward the end you realize that these two are like intentionally